Hello, we're here with Native Media Network and we're with a couple of artists. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves, starting with my right?
Hi, my name is Jolene Eustace.
And,
Bernadette Eustace.
all right, your sisters? Hey.
Yes, we are. She's my older sister.
Awesome. And that gets into our first question. How many generations of art are in your family?
Can you, generations of art, let me see. Boy, wow, that's a good question. It
They're losing count already.
Yes, we are. Yeah, so one, I have my own children who are jewelers themselves, myself, and then my mom and dad, and then I say four generations.
Wow,
Yeah.
okay, 4 generations. Does that sound about right to you?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, cool. And who most inspired you to pursue art?
My late dad, Ben Eustace from Zuni-Cochiti.
Okay.
So, yes, I started making jewelry when I was 6 years old.
Wow, awesome. All right, and for you?
About 7, my mom got me soldering the little embellishments, the round shots.
Okay.
Yeah, she says once we learned that, we would know the melting point. Henceforth, we could make anything.
That's a very important thing to know in silversmithing too, right? The melting point,
Yeah.
especially for gold, because
Oh,
if you're
yeah.
messing with gold, that'll all melt on you, right?
It just floods like water.
Yeah, it does. It's scary to work with.
Oh, yeah.
All right. What was your first exhibit?
My first exhibit was probably at the Portel, the Palace of the Governors on the plaza here in Santa Fe.
Wow.
Yeah, it takes-
Right back here in Santa Fe.
Yes,
Huh?
yes, right here. Because my parents used to come up to Santa Fe and set up the work at the Portel and sell jewelry. And if we had any finished pieces, they would bring it up.
Okay. Awesome. And for you, your first exhibit?
Not necessarily an exhibit, just wholesaling Old Town
Yeah.
at the Covered Wagon. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then when I got home, my dad said, rule of thumb. I said, rule of thumb? He says, I get half. My stones, my jewelry, my workplace. So after that, that was an important lesson. And then I got all my stones, silver, etc. The next time he says, I just need $10, that's all.
Wow, for the workspace, huh?
Well, it was just nice, because he says, I'll give you a break this time. But it's like, welcome to the world.
Of jewelry and selling it. That's
Yeah.
amazing. That's beautiful. That's dope. Okay. Where did you study or practice?
Well, I studied under my parents first.
Okay.
And I think the best rule that my dad told me as I was cutting, see, we carve our own turquoise with a lapidary, one single lapidary wheel. And at that time, I was 6 years old and I was cutting my stones and shaping the turquoise. And the turquoise broke, so I threw it. And my dad stopped me. He said, stop, everything. First rule, first teaching is never throw your turquoise, because these materials, these stones, they're sacred, they're alive. And one day they're going to feed your family when you have a family. So that was my first teaching. Okay, so then I went to school at the Institute of American Indian Arts and studied under some great instructors there, Dwayne McTama, Lane Coulter. Also, I studied at UNM. Ralph Lewis. Do you remember Ralph Lewis, Bernadette? He was one of my instructors at UNM. Yeah.
Wow.
I
So
went
that's-
to learn wax casting, and he let me just audit the hours and just show a picture of what I was doing, and I could use anything in the shop.
Wow. That's cool. And what about for you? Where did you study or practice? With your dad mainly in his shop?
Well, we did that, but a lot of them was accompanying them on shows, walking about, seeing what people were doing, and figuring, well, I know the elements of how to get from one spot to the next, but some jewelry, such as inlay, I started figuring it out myself. And when my dad saw my finished piece, he said, who taught you that? I said, I did, because I couldn't afford to buy it from a lady whose work I admired. So I decided to come up with my own designs and make it.
That's beautiful, especially if you taught yourself how to grind stones, because that's a scary machine to work with. Especially when the smaller the stone that gets, it'll fly out of your little fingers for sure, right?
Yeah.
That's cool. I like what your dad said about, you get frustrated with a piece of turquoise or stone gets too small or it doesn't come out to your shape, and you just get frustrated and you're like, oh, I just want to get rid of it now. But that was cool that your dad was like, no, calm down. There's life in there.
He'd have us take all the turquoise scraps and bury them in the ground.
What? Really?
Yeah, and say a little prayer, feed cornmeal, and let it go. But what was unusual is that pretty soon all our non-Indian friends were in our backyards digging it up because they thought they found a turquoise mine.
Oh,
It was cute.
that is cute.
It was
That is cute.
Yeah.
That is cute. That's cool. All right, next one. How has the COVID affected your art or creativity?
Oh, wow, that's a good question. COVID really changed a lot of things. I would say I stayed home a lot more so, and actually I moved from Santa Fe to Albuquerque because for my living reasons with my grandkids, I didn't want to bring COVID home. Okay, so I basically stay home a lot, so I have more time to work, and sales are slow because a lot of people. We were at museum closed. The Mayak Museum closed down for a while, so I accumulated some pieces and went under unemployment for a little while. But then again, I work at First Nations Community Health Service in Albuquerque with their traditional healing program, Swelach program, and that helped out a lot too.
That's cool.
But that's, I've had to kind of put my artwork aside. But with the new market coming up, I had accumulated pieces.
Yeah.
So
I bet you were more energized to get pieces out for Indian market then too, huh?
Oh yes.
That's cool. And what about for you? How did COVID affect your life or creativity?
It didn't really, it was just steady.
Yeah.
I have a couple of places that I wholesale to, so those are the times I venture out.
Nice.
But we were always at arm's length, But basically, it didn't really, other than my boyfriend catching the COVID and having to stay away for a while.
Oh.
But, myself, not really.
Okay. All right. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Who in your family are you mentoring? Since seems to be a very good family, generational type of craft we're working here right now, right?
I suppose my dad. It's just learning a lot of facts about life and working with the metals and the stones, like I said before, and the stories that come from my late dad. And I kind of incorporate those ideas into my work, the designs.
Yeah.
So that's my dad, yes.
Okay. Cool. And who in your family are you mentoring?
I guess my son, basically.
Yeah.
But he's a quick start. He's self-made motivator. His designs are quite wonderful. He comes up with things, I think, oh my God, the details. I can say too much and why I'm his mother, so.
That's cool. The apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, huh?
He excels on areas that I'm still trying to figure out, which is okay.
Wow. That is right? Yeah. All right, cool. Okay, how many cups of water do you drink while creating?
Water. I would say about, if I create each time, okay, not each time, maybe two cups of water, maybe.
Okay,
so, yeah.
All right. And for you, how many cups of water do you drink while creating?
Probably a quart plus. I like water.
Yeah, right.
It's good for you.
Yes, definitely. Okay, and to wrap it up, could you tell people where to find your work?
My work is to be found at the Wheelwright Museum. I have a couple pieces in the permanent collection there, the Wheelwright Museum, and the Museum of Indian Arts and Culture, and also Keshi Zuni Gallery here in Santa Fe.
All right.
And also through myself.
Yes.
At you can contact me through my email, jaeustace5@yahoo.com.
Okay. All right. And for you, where can people find your work?
I sell to Mark Botti off the plaza, sometimes at the Palace of the Governors, at Keshi, at the Wheelwright Museum when they're operating. Also, the New Mexico Foundation.
Okay.
So it works.
All right.
And my email address is delaba3@gmail.com.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you so much for interviewing with Native Media Network today. I hope you guys have a great weekend. You ladies, I gotta stop using guys. Dang it.
Delaba.
Right? I know.